Good morning again. This is Rich speaking from the Peace Garden at Valley of Peace Lutheran Church on Woodside Boulevard. Just giving you another update on the community garden. So a number of people are busily at work preparing their soil and getting things ready. I'll walk through the garden quickly here in just a second. But the weather's great. Certainly your spring crops can be planted. Lettuce, tomatoes, cabbage, pretty much all the cole crops that are frost tolerant, and seed crops like beets and carrots can go in. Stay away from tomatoes, peppers, squash. Those are pretty fragile for frost, and we have a danger of frost for about another month. So I'm going to turn the camera around and just walk us around the garden here. Okay, resuming our video. As I said, we're located right along Woodside Boulevard in Haley, Idaho. Here's the end view of the church. And we'll start here. Sabina got her garden tilled, and there's some potatoes planted in there. So they did that a couple of weeks ago. This garden space is available. The lady who had this one last year is moving to another community. So I've begun preparing the soil in this one. It's rototilled and ready for some spring planting. Coming up the main aisle, this is Ray's garden. Ray does a lot of work here. He specializes in squash, but he has all kinds of stuff going. He put some organic material in there, and he'll be preparing his soil shortly. He tried his hand with a little protection from the frost last year for tomatoes. That's what that shelter is. It's the wind blew it over, sitting there. This is Dina and Gordon's garden. Talked to Gordon today. He's going to start working his garden probably today or tomorrow, and they are avid gardeners, Dina and Gordon. This pile of sticks is the fencing material he uses to keep critters out of the garden. Last year he had a different garden plot, so he had to disassemble it, but it's willow branches that he picked up. This garden spot may be available. Haven't heard from these folks yet. Over here is Jessica's garden. She's got some mulch on there, some leaves from last year, and it's ready to be tilled and the soil worked up. Now, this is my garden spot here. I have a garden over there behind that shed. I have some raised beds behind the house there, but been working on this one. Got my bag of seeds. I'm going to plant some some peas, some onions in this part right over here. Somebody introduced me to this idea of having raised rows. It helps the soil warm up quickly in the spring. I liked it. I tried it last year for the first time, and I really liked it, so I'm going to do it again. This is Johnny's garden. Johnny's best crop is cucumbers. Every year he has cucumbers to spare, and he has shared them liberally with people. Again, this was Jerry's garden, and Jerry has moved. So this garden space, I think, is available now. I believe maybe Kimberly and Ruben will be taking this one. New gardeners this year. Looking over here, this is Jerry's new space. So he has already planted potatoes. This first row here. He does a thing he calls double digging. He digs 2 spades deep and loosens the soil, puts a lot of mulch in there, and then plants the potatoes near the top where they're supposed to be. But the loose soil gives the potatoes a lot of room to grow. And then finally over here we have Kurt and Sharon's garden. And Kurt's been working the soil up, did some tilling. He has a rhubarb plant over there in the corner. I know he's getting this ready for, I'm not sure if that's for tomatoes, probably, but something that will need support. And Kurt's fencing is typical of some of the fencing that people use here at the garden. This green, it's really construction fencing. You'll see a lot of it in the orange color around on construction sites. And it's inexpensive. You can buy a 100-foot roll, I believe, for under $50. I use that as well on my garden. And the fencing's needed. The low fencing like this does not keep the deer out, but it does help to keep the critters, the rabbits, and other things that might walk through your garden casually. So this is where we are with the Peace Garden right now. We've got garden space available, so certainly give us a call. You can give me a call if you are interested in a garden space, 814-251-2852, and I will certainly help you get set up with a garden here at the Peace Garden at Valley of Peace Lutheran Church. Have a great day.